Hello, I'm here to talk to you today about the snapshot assignment or project that you're going to be working on the next 2 weeks for ninth grade lit. So the first thing that you're going to do today is just simply read the directions that are located under the resources for the snapshot assignment and also looking at the snapshot assignment template that we've provided you in order to do your project. So first we're going to look at the directions. So when you open up the directions, you'll see that it explains everything you need to know about how to do this project. This is going to count for one summative grade, so you want to make sure that you're getting started now and that you're ready to turn it in by the due date, which is April the 3rd, right before spring break by 11:59 p.m. You are going to submit this electronically, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So the first thing I want to do is read the introduction. It says over the next 2 weeks, you will create a narrative writing piece consisting of several snapshots that have occurred during your life, the reading of American-born Chinese, and the reading of the short stories. Then you will add a visual element to connect your writing to the actual visual images. Your objective is to master the technique of showing, not telling, by using descriptive language that paints a picture with words for our readers and representing these pieces through a technology presentation like Google Slides. Expectations. You are going to include 5 total snapshots that are no shorter than 3/4 of a page and no longer than 1 page. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. 2 of your snapshots are going to be about your personal identity. So times in your life where you felt like your identity was established. And then 2 of them are going to be about American-born Chinese. And you should pick 2 of the characters where their identity was established. So if you want to talk about the Monkey King and how he found himself and really struggled with that, maybe when he was trapped under the mountain for a very long time, or maybe when Jen Wang tries to ask out the girl and they go to the movie theater and he has the embarrassing moment. You could do that. But you want to focus in on moments in your life and the character's life where their identity was really established or they had a hard time establishing that identity. And then one snapshot should represent one of the stories that you read, either Fish Cheeks or The Writing on the Wall. So in Fish Cheeks, you could talk about the girl as she's sitting down to the table with her family and her crush is over eating the dinner and she's so embarrassed. So you could talk about something like that in that snapshot. Again, these are snapshots. They're not meant to be long stories. They're just short pictures of what is happening in someone's life. So a very, very short snapshot, but in a narrative fashion, which means it tells a story about what that particular person is going through or a time in which their identity was very much established. You're going to do this through a Google Slides PowerPoint presentation, and I'm going to show you a template that we have created to make it really easy for you. The due dates, you're going to get a formative grade for brainstorming for this. You'll have a Google Doc that you're going to add to your brainstorming, and this should be done by Wednesday, March the 25th, which we'll talk about in just a second. And then the final project is due Friday, April 3rd by 11:59 p.m. So you want to make sure that you have that too. All right, so some examples. You'll notice that we have 3 examples of the written portion of the snapshot. These all focus on the exact same event, and I'm not going to read all of them to you. I'm going to let you read them. But a below standards is the first one. You notice that it's the shortest. It's got some definite grammatical issues, spelling issues, things that can be fixed by just clicking underneath where it has those blue lines or that red line, and it'll tell you exactly how to fix that. Meeting standards snapshot looks a little bit better, but it does have a couple mistakes. And then the exceeding standards snapshot is a very good piece of writing. You'll notice it has a lot of dialogue in it, which is a great narrative technique that we use, and it does tell a story in a very concise snapshot fashion. The last thing that is here on your directions page is the snapshot rubric, and it tells you exactly what you need to have in order to get the grade that you want for this project. Each snapshot should have a narrowed focus that illustrates a 15 to 30-second moment in time. Each snapshot provides a narrative account, again, written in first person or telling a story that connects to the individual or character's identity. The identity of the character is apparent by reading the narrative. All snapshots have vivid verbs, similes, metaphors, and no dead words. There are few, if any, grammatical errors. A visual is provided for each snapshot. And then you also have the required number of 5 snapshots. And then the final category, you get time, or you get points for using your time efficiently, and that you utilize the correct Google Slides template that we're giving you, and that you submitted it to your It's Learning folder, and you also shared it with your teacher. So make sure you take a look at that rubric before you say that you're finished. All right, the template. So we've created for you a template of what you're going to do to turn this in. All you need to do to start is to go to File, make a copy, and you want to copy the entire presentation. You want to rename it with your last name or first name, last name. So if this was me, I might do a shorter snapshot assignment. I could take off the word template because I'm no longer using this as a template. This is becoming my assignment. And then I want to go ahead and save it to my drive. And you can click select there. Once you do that, you would click OK. And Google is going to create a copy for you with your own Google Slides. So now this is nobody else's but yours. The one thing that you need to do, though, is to go to Share and share it with your teacher. So for example, my teacher is Miss Shorter, and I'm going to find her, and I'm going to send that assignment to her. Okay. So the template looks like this. The first slide is a title slide, and it says Snapshot Assignment, your name here. You very simply just need to insert your name. And what I would strongly suggest is that you do something to the background. You can change the fonts, make it your own, maybe enter in some pictures, make it look snazzy. The next slide is an example of what this should look like for your snapshot. You'll notice that this is the same story from the directions page. That was the exceeding standards example. Again, it's just that 15 to 30-second narrative story. And you can tell from the picture that this is probably going to be about a little girl who is blowing out her birthday candles, because that's the picture that we found. Now, this can be considered a personal example because this talks about whoever wrote it's birthday party, or 5th birthday party. So this picture I pulled from Google Slides, but if you have your own pictures from these examples, you're welcome to add those to it. You might think about something that happened to you in the last year or two, and you have pictures on your phone that you could pull in to add to this example. So this is just an example. You can keep this example slide on your slides until they're completely finished, and then you can delete that slide so that all that's left is your project. All right. This then tells you exactly what you need to enter into each of these slides. So the first snapshot is going to be personal. However, I don't want you to leave snapshot 1 personal. You can if you want to, but you can also take this away and name it something that goes along with your story, or just call it snapshot 1. You're going to enter your picture. Remember I said if you've got something from, maybe it's when you went to the beach this year, or, you got your first driver's permit or your driver's license or something like that, you could insert a personal picture here, and then you would write your story, your little 15 to 30-second glimpse into that moment in time. Again, in a narrative form, you would enter the text here. You can add a background, you can change your text font, whatever you want to do. You'll notice that the second slide on the template is also personal, so you need a second example for your personal snapshot. So this might be your driver's permit. This might be when you were a little kid and you fell off the monkey bars. So both of these would be personal examples. Then we get to snapshot 3, and we're at American Born Chinese. Here you need to pick a character from American Born Chinese. So you might want to pick Jen Wang for this snapshot number 3, and you could grab a picture from the story. You could grab a picture from the internet of Jen Wang, or something that you found. You could draw a picture and insert it here. And then you would write up his little narrative example. Now this is you taking this character and writing your own narrative story. So you would pull in some information that you know happened in the text. We're not making up things that didn't happen, but you are creating your own story. So it's not going to be exactly what the text says, but you're going to create what did happen in the text, but tell it in your own words. Snapshot number 4 is also from American Born Chinese, but it needs to be a different character. So you can do Chen Qi or Danny, whoever you'd like to do here. And then snapshot number 5 is your choice, but it needs to come from a textbook story. So you can do Fish Cheeks from Amy Tan or The Writing on the Wall, picking a character from one of those stories. And once you have all of that done, you've changed your backgrounds around, you've got all of your little text features, you've got your picture. The only thing you have to do then, because you've already shared it with your teacher, is go back to It's Learning. And it's not here yet, but when you, actually it is here, I'm sorry. If you go to April 3rd, which is not this Friday, but next Friday, you will see the American Voices Snapshot Project submit here. You're going to click on that, and you are going to submit your assignment. When I will do another video on submission, but basically you're just going to copy and paste your link in here for us. And then you will be done and you will have your project turned in. Let your teacher know if you have any questions. We are happy to help you. We hope this is a fun project for you and you get to think about your own personal identity and also the characters that you've read's identity, and get to be a little bit creative. All right, thanks, and let us know if you have questions.